I just got done listening to Shannon Sharp's response to Dabo Swinny's comments. And I want to make it clear that Shannon Sharp did say that he made these comments on the phone to him. But this is why I am going through so much with my child and fighting for his rights. So Dabo is commenting on the players boycotting the national anthem. And Sharp is speaking to him, and Dabo is, in the press conference, he did say that, I respect their rights, but I don't believe that two wrongs make a right. Well, in the conversation, Sharp is reporting that he stated, but we have a black president, we have CEOs, we have millionaires, and I think that is where things get so frustrating and confusing for us as a culture, because I am one of those ones who are fighting for healthcare. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a CEO of a company. I am starting a company. However, I'm not a millionaire. I can't afford to give my child to send him to the proper people who would help him, because there are people out here who would and could have been helped him, but because we come from the inner city, because we have state Medicaid, because I can't afford $5,000 per month to send my child to a facility who will be able to care for him, who has all staff have degrees in psychology or whatever it is that they're studying. So this is why my fight is so hard, because I feel like white people do, and this is not all, it's never all white people or all black people. This is a society that we live in. So rules, there are unstated rules that people just don't speak about. So there are more, whites definitely get more privileges than African Americans, and no one can say anything different. And we should not be satisfied because we have an African American president. We should not be satisfied because we have African Americans who are CEOs or African American quarterbacks. Really, like, that should not replace the fact, or that should not please us for the time being, because this here is my time being. My son needs help now. My child needs help now. And the people that I'm dealing with the facility happen to be Caucasian. The therapist that my son has a daughter who is going to college. Now, I guarantee you, if her daughter was going through some psychological issues, her daughter would not be at Havenwick Hospital. I guarantee you that. Now, let me kind of explain the day that my child goes through. So they wake up while, wash up. They wake up, wash up, brush teeth, have breakfast. Then it's school. And then I believe they do a group. And then they're outside like playing basketball. And then they're just sitting playing games and watching cartoons. I would say minimum. My therapist said minimum 2. I would say minimum 4. But my therapist did agree with me that a minimum of 4 times a week one-on-one therapy for my child would definitely not be too much. But you meet with my child 1 time a week. What exactly do you think is going to change in 1 hour with one-on-one therapy? Now, don't get me wrong. They do have group therapy. Like what, four times a week they have group therapy. Okay, so group therapy 4 times a week, which my son speaks sometimes and sometimes he doesn't. If he has to comment on what other people say, and he has to process something. He can't just sit there in order for him to move up levels. So yeah, he does what he needs to do to get by. But this facility is not doing anything to correct the issue that he has. My child's life is not any less valuable than his therapist's daughter's life. So I'm so upset and I'm so angry right now because the pushback that they give me has everything to do with the color of my skin, the way that I speak, and how I approach them. Now, let me give you an example. I was dating a guy and I needed someone to get me downtown Detroit from East Lansing to court. Well, he was off for a few days, so he drove up and took me down. He has a pretty nice car. My son commented and said, "Oh, wow, that's a nice car." So this is the first therapist. His therapist said, "Who was that?" And he was like, my mom is dating this guy. And so my son began to explain to her something. He was talking about the guy. It's like, yeah, he's an executive chef. And so she's like, wow, well, if he's an executive chef, then why does he have to have tinted windows? And she laughed after that statement. Now, she verified that she said this. So I'm not saying, I'm not taking my son's word for it. She said, yes, I said this. Now, let me give you her excuse, because there is no doubt that this was a racist comment that went over my son's head, which is sad, but it absolutely did not go over my head. Now, what she said, her reasoning for giving or making this comment was, well, I've never seen anyone with tinted windows unless it was a police officer. And this is the excuse that you guys take. This is what I'm saying to the supervisor and also to the recipient's rights person. This is the excuse that you guys take when I'm sure there is a car in the parking lot of this facility with tinted windows. Am I stupid? Do I look dumb? Because I absolutely do not sound dumb. But this is the excuse that they gave me. Was she reprimanded for making a racist comment to my son and laughing about it? Absolutely not. The recipient's rights person said his rights were not violated in any way. Now, there were two situations then. The first situation was with my son being provoked by a staff member. Now, let me explain that situation. I am so upset right now because Sharp hit it right on the nail when he said there are people out here who don't have good health care, who cannot pay for, and listen, my son has been gone a year and a half. My child's role in this house was a very important role. My son was second in command in the house, in my home. If my daughter has bad anxiety like me. If she had to do she had to do a presentation once. So my son is holding the light so that we can have right lighting, and I'm recording, so that she can practice. I don't eat. My doctors and my therapists get on me all the time. You have to eat. You have to eat. You need fuel in order for you to fight this fight. You have to eat. So Monday, I explained to my therapist that when my son was home, I cooked for him. Every day when I asked, what is it that you want to eat? And he would just go down the list, and I would make it. I used to call him my sous chef because, depending upon what it was that I was making, I would be sitting in the living room doing my homework, and I would say, okay, will you go cut up the onions and peppers? And then I would go in there with him and then finish the meal. He made his own barbecue sauce. He was able to bake chicken. My son's been gone for a year and a half. And the reason why he's there has not improved in any way. Has not improved in any way. Now, I've made complaint after complaint after complaint. For a year. Friday, I got a phone call from the investigator's supervisor. And I explained to her that I don't want to hear, Miss Ellis, I hear you. Miss Ellis, I understand. Miss Ellis, let me look into it. I don't want to hear that. Their time has run out. Either fix it or give me my child back. This is crazy because those are the only two options that I'm giving the court. That is my son. I have guardianship of him. In your care, you guys are not providing the proper services for him. He has been gone for a year and a half. My 7-year-old. Oh my goodness. My 7-year-old, he's hyper. He has ADHD. Well, my 7-year-old is the sweetest kid. He is the sweetest child that I have. Like, he is just, every kid has their personality. Like, he is just the sweetest thing ever. Now, his wife is going to have to pick up after him a lot, but he's very sweet. Once we moved out here, and he went to school, he began to be extremely defiant. He would throw chairs, he would kick, he would scream. He ran out of the school, he ran out of the classroom, he ran out of the building before. A few times actually. Now, when I called my friends and my family, and I'm like, my goodness, I'm having such a hard time with Jock, explaining what's going on. Everyone's first response is Jock? Because that's not him. Now, let me tell you, love is so strong. People take love for granted when you can't do that. Now, the reason why I fought so hard for him to get into a residential facility is because I love him. And I believe that he deserves a fighting chance, just like everyone else. My son is no less valuable than anyone else who walks around on this earth. And he deserves a fighting chance. But he needs help. These agencies outside, they're not helping him. These outpatient facilities were not doing anything for him. Now he's in this place chilling, playing damn Monopoly. We have Monopoly here. Every time, Monopoly is my son's favorite game. Every time a new Monopoly come out, I go buy it. He can play Monopoly at home. He can watch television here. I can drive him to an hour a week appointment. Because explain to me what exactly it is that you have done to help my child with the issues that he has regarding his borderline personality disorder, because he only has 2.5 years. Also, they know what my son is going through. My daughter cannot even talk about him too long, because if my daughter talks about my son too long, she just breaks down. My youngest, everywhere we go, you have to give this to Malik. No, we need one for Malik. No, we're going to save this for Malik. This is leftover dinner. Okay, Mommy, we're going to save this for Malik. How sad is that? They have not spoken to nor seen their brother in 1.5 years. Why? Why? I have been asking them for 1 year. I said, listen, this is really difficult for my babies. They don't understand what is going on. I'm present, you're present. Can it, at least a phone call? Can they make a phone call to their brother? In 1.5 years, nothing. So what exactly are you protecting them from? What harm will come from them coming to see their brother while I'm present, you're present? None of my younger children have ever been a victim of his. So listen, these community mental health agencies are a joke. And they are a joke because the people who build those agencies are from the inner city. And just to be honest, there are some who are uneducated. There are some parents who are not as strong and can fight and can speak up for their child's right. And there are some parents who, just you know, take him, because he was getting on my nerve. I can't imagine. Now my son gets on my nerves too, but I love him so much. Like, I am in my therapist's office bawling because I miss him. That is my heart. That is my firstborn. I will never have the experiences that I had with him ever again. For the first 7 years of his life, everything that we experienced together for the first time. Like, I would never have that with anyone. Injustice and equality enrages me. Enrages me. And the policymakers and the people who can do something about it has the same mind frame as Swinny. You have a black president. You have black CEOs. What else do you want? I want the same right that your children have. I want the same health care. Listen, I have been sick for 4 years. 4 years of me falling out, having seizures. 4 years of me dealing with this weakness and mess in my legs. 4 years of me just walking around lightheaded, having neurological issues. 4 years of this. But I bet if I had some nice, pricey insurance, I bet I wouldn't be going through all of this. It's not fair. It's not fair. No one person is better than any other person on this earth, because my ancestors built this country. And you want me to be satisfied because Obama is president? Get the hell out of here. What I want is for my child to have the proper health care. So since money is so important, I'm coming after it, because it's $75,000 a year to keep my son there. So let's discuss who exactly is paying. I've already spoken to Star Vista. I haven't even heard from this lady who was supposed to call me Monday. I haven't even heard from her. Star Vista is responsible for the payment. But I will be finding out who exactly on this board of commissioners that I need to speak with. This is crazy. But this is my life. This is what I go through. This is what I deal with. And I know my life is no different than any others, you know. I get it. I understand. But I just think that this is what I'm going through is so ridiculous. And it's so wrong. These are children. These are our future. And these kids are just in these facilities. They're just housing these kids. These kids can play basketball, Monopoly, Sorry, and Jenga, and whatever else at home. I love mine. I want mine. And I'm about to get mine. But what about these other ones? So we have to do something to make a change, because if you are not going to help these children, then you need to release them and let them go. I cannot believe that these people are getting away with this. But that's okay, because by the time I'm done with them, they got the right one. They got the right one. So either we're going to have some policy changes or we're going to have some unemployed people. It's 5:51. I need to get in the shower, get ready for the kids to get up and eat breakfast. Come back. I'm sure I'll be posting later today. Have a good day.